Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Max, and I'm here to do another round of wildly speculated at new releases, because that's what I do. It's my favorite thing to do. I'm going to keep doing it. You can't really stop me. So today, we are jumping on straight into it. FFG came with an awesome announcement today. They're doing an online kind of showcase. Normally, they do this kind of announcement and releases and really cool stuff like that at Gen Con, but I'm not sure if you're aware at home. Gen Con got cancelled as with a bunch of other stuff. It sucks. It's the world we live in. But kudos to FFG, still doing some really, really cool stuff. Still getting on that announcement train. Still getting on the hype train. So some really, really awesome spoilers coming through. I'm going to jump straight into my personal favorite spoiler of the whole crew. Darth Maul coming into it. I'm not sure if you ever remembered seeing him first in the cinemas and kind of held his lightsaber at one point. You're like, oh yeah, red lightsaber. Really cool phase. Definitely a Sith boy. I can respect that. And then all of a sudden he goes, boom, and then a second lightsaber comes out. Oh, yeah, we've all seen the memes, but my lordy. This is one of my first introductions to Star Wars as a kid. I mean, I definitely saw the original trilogy with my parents and stuff, but I was a bit too young to really understand or care. But jumping into the cinemas, seeing The Phantom Menace, seeing Maul, I think really, like, that moment I fell in love with the Star Wars trilogy and the Star Wars kind of all of it together. So really, really excited for Darth Maul to come through. Plus the Sith probe droids. Really excited about these guys as well. Really, really cool stuff. For all of those that have seen Rebels, obviously makes a lot more sense. And even in Phantom Menace, we saw some Sith probe droids kind of flying out to kind of check out Tatooine once upon a time as well. But really excited about this guy. I'm expecting probably red defensive dice, maybe black offensive dice, surges across the board on both, maybe throwing literally 6+ black attack dice with maybe a bunch of re-rolls or getting double attacks or something really, really cool. Maybe some really cool interactions with the Sith probe droids as well. I'm really excited about that. Maybe in my mind with the Sith probe droids and kind of the hate that Maul has and kind of his major connection to the dark side, maybe targeting someone on the battlefield, similar to a bounty system, but getting rerolls on them or some extra free hits or some extra damage or some bonuses if the probe droids kind of target that person and get some more information about them, and then being able to kind of reroll hits or get some free hits or take away some of their defense dice, stuff like that. That's what I'm kind of expecting from Maul. A really heavy-hitting target one particular character and say, you are getting removed from the board if I ever get into contact with you, and you need to be afraid of that. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, you see like At Last, the Phantom Menace, all the Fates cards and things. There's just a lot of hatred in Darth Maul, which I'm super excited about. The model is absolutely gorgeous as well. Really, really pumped for this to come through. I think that painting that face is going to be a little tough, but taking some time and really deliberating on that is going to be some awesome fun. It'll be interesting to see what his kind of force abilities are as well. Or any special ability associated with having, two lightsabers, obviously. But we're going to jump straight on to the fanboy of the series. I'm looking directly at Scott here. You now have zero reason to not get a clone army. You've already got most of it painted. Now you can have Anakin get involved. It's going to be sick. So, like, Anakin, what can I say about Anakin? Like, just such an important part of the series, of course. Such an important character to finally get on the field. We've previously had Obi-Wan, and now we've actually got Anakin as another Jedi choice. I expect him to be quite high in points, but red attack dice, red defense dice, surges across the board, Master of the Force 2 or even 3, honestly. Maybe not Palpatine levels, so probably 2 to match up kind of with Vader. I will be interested to see what the reflection of the Vader card is with Anakin. Because in kind of the Clone Wars, we see Anakin as a true general of all the clones. And you can see things, the Clone Wars card at the back as well. I expect him to do that, plus a bunch of clones, troopers coming together and activating. Whereas you see things like you underestimate power, and this is where the fun begins, much more targeting Anakin. So you see this contrast of the general, but also him wanting to kill a bunch of people too, in a very, very Anakin fashion. I'm really, really excited to see what kind of force abilities he gets as well. Maybe some force jumps or some speeds or something along those lines. Again, pretty high cost in points, but I expect him to just kill anything he gets into contact with. Like at least 4 red dice, maybe some black dice as well. Keep in mind Vader was 6 black dice in his attack pool. So really excited. Like, you underestimate my power, like re-rolling defense dice, re-rolling offensive dice, maybe again targeting a character similar kind of Maul and saying, I'm gonna kill you. What's gonna happen here? Interesting to see the card kind of on the back. I wonder if that's just his card's going to jump onto Maul. Maul's got it as well. Maybe just to showcase the back of the cards. Maybe it could be something interesting, something new. Not sure. Really, really excited about this. I'm really keen to see his interactions with the clones as well, or with troopers in general. So if we jump here, we can see the different kind of sculpts as well with Anakin, which is really, really exciting. FFG have been going out of their way to give us options when it comes to building the characters. If you look at all the clones, all the new character models, Iden, Cassian, K2, even Sabine to a certain degree, they've all got different poses, different kind of animations that you can do. Really, really excited. These sculpts are absolutely gorgeous. I'm well and truly blown away by just how far FFG have come and how quickly they've been able to kind of reach this level of sculpt as well. It's crazy impressive. So kudos to you guys. You're doing it well. Absolutely loving it. I'm unfortunately not expected to see these models for like at least 6 months or so. Definitely next year at probably the earliest. But talking with Alex Davey, he seemed to think that everything was pretty much on track. Everything should be expected in their regular releases. I know Australia's a little bit behind on certain things, but look, FFG is doing the best they can given the circumstances. But moving on, we've got the Republic Specialist as well, personnel package. Really, really cool stuff here. There's a cheap commander option that we've got available to ourselves. Very kind of Order 66 with that little, like, the holo pad being like... But yeah, really excited about these guys. You can look at their cards already. Air support, you've got some guys coming in from the top and smashing up. Attack of the Clones, again, probably activating all of the clones coming together. And organized defensive again. So these guys are really focused on, if you're doing a troop-heavy army and bringing maybe multiple drops, these guys are almost going to be the commanders for you. Obviously for the fact that they're cheap, and that's kind of what you do need in clones because they're so expensive in general, points-wise. But... yeah, having a cheap commander, being able to activate multiple troops at once, like the Attack of the Clones or Organized Defensive, I wouldn't be surprised to just see them targeting 2 or if not 3 troops at once, similar to what they were already doing with their firepower, and just pumping into it. Really, really excited. Maybe even like the first time we're seeing kind of like being able to activate 2 guys at once would be really, really cool before your opponent gets to activate once. It'd be very interesting to see something like Attack of the Clones or Organized Defensive doing something like that. So really, really cool. I'm going to jump onto the next slide. You can see here as well, different sculpts, choices between carrying their helmets versus actually having helmets on heads. Really, really excited about these. Possibly a medic somewhere in here as well, which I think the clones probably need, but I think will make them very, very strong as well. Putting so much firepower into these clones, just having them kind of shrug it off, going to be very, very impressive. Going to be a force to be reckoned with on the table. So really, really cool guys. Definitely kind of scared of what they're going to be able to do, but gorgeous, gorgeous sculpts as well. Like, again, FFG is just kind of getting out of the blasting out of the ballpark with these guys. Next, we got the Separate Specialists. These guys are nowhere near as offensive as what I expect the clones to be, but much more utility. You can see, obviously, that's a medical droid. Observes tactical droid, something like that. Again, you've got a similar thing with Orbital Strike on that 2-pip card. Again, probably just smashing something from a distance. Again, similar to Veers. I expect both of those cards to be very similar to what Veers was doing, or Leia. Probably not as powerful, though. If it was, I'd be very impressed. It'd be awesome, awesome stuff. Is that Organized Incursion in the back as well? Again, Roger. Maybe we're seeing very similar cards from both the commanders. I wouldn't be surprised to see almost identical, but like slight changes here. And it impressed me to have the ability to activate multiple characters at once. Or multiple troop units. Maybe it specifies like troop units or something like that, and you can activate 2 at once. And that's what Organized Incursion could be. That'd be really, really cool. I'd be very impressed. But these models as well, absolutely gorgeous. You can see them here in a kind of unpainted way, so you can get your options of what to actually witness from these guys. But really, really excited. Again, nice cheap option for droids. Which is really important. I know droids are relatively cheap to begin with, but you still need these cheap commanders because currently we're on General Grievous or Count Dooku. And, they're not exactly a small amount of points. They're over 100 points each, and they take up a huge amount of your roster, particularly at small-level games. And you're playing like 500 points, which our community, shout out to all the boys and girls down in Frankston and Malvern, they play 500 points pretty heavily. And to have cheaper commander options gives you so much more power on the battlefield, gives you so much more drops and options available to you. So I think they're already going crazy about this and all the chats and stuff like that. But really, really excited about these guys being able to just really powerhouse through and offer a lot more versatility in these games. So look, again, these guys are probably going to follow a similar route to all the other characters, all the other units in those armies. Red defense dice, a bunch of black attack dice, and so on and so forth. Probably white defense dice and some white attack, maybe some... I don't know, the medical droids. I don't expect them to be able to tank very well at all. Maybe have an extra wound to kind of compensate for it. But, yeah, really excited. We're going to have all these available online for pre-order by the end of tomorrow. which is really, really exciting. So jump on our website, www.generalgames.com.au. You can pre-order. We ship all around Australia, and we are some of the most competitive prices floating around as well. So I hope you liked the video. I'm going to throw you on to my ending. We're going to have someone come through and shout out to all the social medias. But I hope you had some fun. Leave a like and a comment below. Tell me what your favorite models are, what you're excited about. Do you reckon I got it right? Do you reckon I'm wildly speculating wrong? Let's have a chat. Thanks. You have a great one.
Scott here. If you like that video, you can do the YouTube thing where you like and subscribe, and there's a bell and there's a whole thing. Then if you want more information, there's the Facebook one. It's got events, it's got posts, all our pre-orders, all the cool stuff. And then for behind the scenes action, check out our Instagram. It's got a bunch of pictures. It's pretty cool. Check it out.